Live from WTVO 17 and your home team. Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
A teenage boy is arrested after shots ring out at a Rockford motel. Investigators explain what led up to Wednesday's shooting at Alpine Inn.
Staying home during the pandemic might have had some unfortunate consequences. Doctors share advice for those struggling to lose the quarantine 15.
Plus, baseball season's officially here. We take you live to opening day at Wrigley Field to hear how fans feel about their return to the stadium. Good evening, I'm Mimi Murphy.
And I'm Eric Wilson. Human remains are found in Winnebago County near Cherry Valley.
This is the third set of bones police have discovered in 1 month. The remains were found yesterday near Mill and Newburgh Roads. Investigators say the remains were down to the bone and brought to the Winnebago County coroner for testing. March 9th, remains were found near 11th Street and bypass 20. That person has not been identified. 2 weeks later, the body of a missing Mendota man was discovered on Auburn Street. The Winnebago County coroner tells us the deaths don't appear to be related.
Police arrested a teenager in connection to yesterday's shooting at Rockford's Alpine Inn. It happened around 8:40 in the morning at the motel on East State near Alpine. Police say a 15-year-old boy fired a gun in a room with 3 adults and a child and went outside to fire more rounds. No one was hurt. He ran away when officers arrived. Investigators caught up with and arrested the suspect. They recovered a gun at the scene. The boy faces several weapons charges.
Family advocates will use the next few weeks to increase awareness about child abuse. April marks Child Abuse Prevention and Awareness Month in Rockford. Mayor Tom McNamara made the proclamation today. He says it takes collaboration by community members, organizations, schools, businesses, and law enforcement agencies to keep kids safe and happy. Child abuse impacts every county, including here in the state line.
Over 100,000 victims of child abuse are reported each year in the state of Illinois, with Winnebago County making up at least 4% of all calls to the state central register.
The Family Violence Coordinating Council and other prevention groups will host events throughout the month to educate the community.
All week, counties surrounding Winnebago County are holding vaccination clinics.
They're hoping to get everyone who wants a COVID vaccine a chance to get it before eligibility opens up to everyone in 2 weeks. Ari Bruckman checked out today's clinic in Ogle County. Ari, how'd it go?
Eric and Mimi, it went really well. More than 1,000 people in and around Ogle County are now protected from getting seriously sick with COVID. One of them told me getting more people vaccinated is another step in the right direction.
I can have you put your last name, first name, date of birth, signature, and today's date, please.
Ogle County Public Health Department held a mass vaccination event at Byron Middle School. The event was for Phase 1B, 1B+, and new priority groups who live or work in Ogle County. Scott Lynch was one of the 1,200 people who received the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. With his wife working in the ER and an elderly father, the decision to get vaccinated was easy.
I just don't want to take any chances of getting my father sick for him. You know what I'm saying? With all this going on, it's just crazy.
Lynch actually drove 2 hours each way to get this vaccine. He works in Ogle County, but lives south of Chicago. He told me he's impressed by how easy the process was.
Yeah, no, the process was like super easy. I mean, literally I walked through the door, within 5 minutes I had my shot. I mean, you can't ask for better than that.
Humphrey David got the vaccine too, though his reason for getting it is different than Lynch.
Sometimes I find myself having to travel, so I know that in the future they are going to have to require that for you to be able to get into a plane. David believes the quicker everyone gets vaccinated, the quicker we can have everything back to normal. We need life to get back to normal. I'm tired of wearing this thing, so the earlier every one of us gets the vaccine, everything gets back to normal and we can get rid of the masks.
Stevenson County had their vaccination clinic earlier this week. Tomorrow, there is one at Belvedere High School for Boone County residents, and Saturday in Dixon for those in Lee County. Eric?
Thanks, Ari. Utility companies can start sending out disconnection notices today. Illinois' ban on cutting people off has ended. Eyewitness News is keeping you connected to the Illinois Capitol. For more than a year, to help people get through the pandemic, the state didn't allow utility disconnections, but the moratorium on shutoffs expired April 1st. The Illinois Commerce Commission made a deal with major utilities in the state to delay shutoffs if you contact the utility and set up a payment plan. The ICC has set up counseling services to help those struggling figure it out.
We definitely also encourage consumers who want additional help, whether it's, actually being walked through the process of contacting their utility companies or accessing the LIHEAP funds.
The LIHEAP program's also still running in the state. County offices were sent money to give to people to pay off utility bills, no strings attached.
When the pandemic first hit, more time indoors, stress eating, and less time hitting the gym might have had a negative impact on your weight.
Some call it the quarantine 15, but Michelle Ravi spoke with a doctor and joins us with tips on shedding the pounds. Michelle?
A recent study from the Journal of the American Medical Association shows Americans have gained 2 pounds a month since the start of the pandemic. Dr. David Gergenti, Director of MedPlus Back and Pain Center, has noticed. He says he's seen an uptick in people coming in with pain associated with weight gain. Dr. Gergenti says stress is a major factor. He also points to more time spent near the fridge and less access to outdoor activities. He says it's important for people to be proactive and worry about their health before it can lead to serious health issues like diabetes, heart disease, or a stroke.
People who have had this weight gain associated with COVID, trying to exercise more, trying to eat right, getting out and being active, but they're still hanging on to their weight. And when we look at those factors of the stress response and the cortisol and thyroid imbalance that happens when our body is under stress, we have to attack that as well, not just diet and exercise.
Coming up at 6, we'll hear from 2 local women who said enough was enough. They'll take us through their recent weight loss journey during the pandemic.
All right, thanks, Michelle. Members of the homeless community got a special treat on this Holy Thursday. OSF staff spent the day helping out at Carpenter's Place. It was for the annual foot care event. About 30 guests had their feet washed and nails trimmed by podiatry residents. Guests were also given a pair of socks and shoes. Over $5,000 was raised for the event.
We feel that a lot of people aren't necessarily getting the care that they would otherwise get just because they're being discouraged from entering different buildings and you don't get that much one-on-one contact with them. So having something that's kind of a beacon for people to go towards is just really nice opportunity for them.
This was the first foot care event since 2019. Last year's was canceled due to the pandemic. It's an exciting time for baseball fans as the Cubs and White Sox have returned north for the start of their seasons.
Cubs got things going this afternoon at Wrigley Field. David Greenberg joins us live from there now. David, what was the atmosphere like around the ballpark?
Eric and Mimi, things are good. The sun is shining. The birds are chirping. There is baseball to be played today with fans in the stands. The first time the friendly confines has seen some friendly faces in quite a long time. Only allowed to hold about 20% capacity. Official attendance from today's game, 10,343. Upon entry, fans had to show their mobile ticket. They then received a KN95 mask and a personal bottle of hand sanitizer. There have also been hand washing stations placed throughout the concourse, and all concessions are done now by ordering on your mobile phone. I made sure to catch up with some fans around Wrigleyville and get a feel for their excitement about being allowed to attend a game again.
I've been to every opening day since 1974. Last year doesn't count because they didn't have an opening day and they didn't let fans in the middle of July. So this is really important for me to keep getting to the stadium or the ballpark and being able to see the games and keep my streak alive.
You could tell that everyone's happy to be here. People have signs pertaining to welcome back to Wrigley. Thanks for having us back. I think it's just awesome.
It's opening day. We didn't have baseball last year, so baseball this year is a great opportunity to come out and just be part of Wrigley again, be part of the Cubs.
If you couldn't already tell from those fans, they are pretty excited that baseball is back. Eric, Mimi, back to you.
It's great to see, David. Thanks for that live report.
This was another day of emotional testimony in the trial of former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin.
Chauvin is charged with second and third degree murder as well as manslaughter in the death of George Floyd. Floyd's girlfriend, Courtney Ross, took the stand and testified about the couple's struggle with opioid addiction. The defense had argued that drugs in Floyd's system at the time of his arrest were partially responsible for his death. Ross says Floyd suffered an overdose last March.
At that time frame, did you learn that Mr. Floyd was taking anything other than opioids?
No.
Paramedics who treated Floyd also testified. They say Floyd was in cardiac arrest and flatlined after they moved him into the ambulance. The trial is expected to last about a month.
4 people are killed in a mass shooting at a Southern California office complex. One of the victims is a 9-year-old boy. It happened last night. Investigators say this was not random. Orange County police say the alleged gunman, currently in the hospital with gunshot wounds, knew all the victims either through business or personal relationships. Officers reportedly found an automatic handgun and a backpack with pepper spray, handcuffs, and ammunition. Authorities are working on a timeline of the events.
Now, your first warned weather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Candace King.
Well, we've had lots of sunshine this afternoon. Wind has not been quite as strong as what it's been the last couple of days. So even though our temperatures were 10-15 degrees below average, at least it felt a little better. A live look with our Mercy House Skytrack camera now over downtown Rockford, looking to the south and kind of southwest. We're going to continue to see that clear sky as we go through this evening with high pressure moving in. And what that's going to do for us is allow that temperature tonight to drop on either side of that 20-degree mark. Last night and early this morning, we were in the low to mid 20s. We held on to that wind. Tonight, winds are going to go calm, and wouldn't be surprised if a few of the outlying areas wake up 18-19 degrees tomorrow morning. 40 our temperature in Rockford, 39 in Freeport, 40 in Monroe, 40 in Dixon, Rochelle, and 39 right now in DeKalb. Banner Weather Watcher in South Beloit checking in with 40 degrees. Look at this dew point number at 8. So we are very, very, very dry, and with high pressure moving overhead and allowing that wind to turn light, that's why our temperatures will drop back. 40 degrees for Bob here on the southeast end of Rockford, and a dew point temperature sitting at 10. That dry air mass, not only for tomorrow, but also for Saturday, going to allow our temperatures to warm up. We are going to see a little bit more moisture return, so eventually that'll lead to a bit more cloud cover and then a slight chance for a couple of isolated showers and thunderstorms once we get into next week. But you see that clockwise spin in our wind kind of barbs across much of the Midwest, actually centered right over Des Moines where high pressure sits. So we've had that northerly wind, but we get on the back side of that high for tomorrow, so it brings that temperature back up into the 50s. We're 21 degrees tonight underneath a mostly clear sky. Winds are going to turn light. Sun will set tonight at 7:22. 54 for tomorrow afternoon. Kind of a crisp day, at least a crisp start to the morning. Winds will pick up a little bit again from the south at about 20 to 25 miles per hour. We've got clear skies as far as the eye can see. Had a little bit of cloud cover moving in, just some wispy cirrus clouds earlier today, but a big ridge of high pressure focused just to the west of us, really going to allow those temperatures to warm up. In fact, we'll go from 54 degrees on Friday, quick jump on Saturday into the 60s, and then we get a string of that 70-degree warmth that'll stay with us. But notice going into early next week, we bring back that chance for a few showers and a couple of thunderstorms, and that's because of the position of our jet stream. While we've got that ridge of high pressure building in and allows that warmth to build up underneath that, we're kind of right on the edge here of what we call northwesterly flow. So we get these little tiny disturbances that kind of work within the jet stream, and it interacts with some of that increasing moisture and a little bit of that warmth. So that'll set up kind of a stationary boundary. It comes in as a warm front on Saturday and then pulls to the north of us on Sunday. So that could be the focus for some of those showers and thunderstorms as early as Monday. But we've got a few clouds that'll kind of skirt through the sky late tomorrow night and then into Saturday, but we'll see a mostly sunny sky as we head towards Saturday afternoon. 72 for Easter Sunday, 70 on Monday. That's when we bring back the chance for a few showers, couple of thunderstorms. We'll watch kind of the placement of those going into early next week, but no real big drop in temperatures. Notice within a week's time, we're still in the upper 60s.
Now, the Napleton Sports Desk with Sports Director Scott Lepper.
Now, the Cubs roster has been stripped down from their championship season of 2016, but are they still good enough to compete for a division championship? Their first step on this opening day was to get past the Pirates. It was a shaky start for Kyle Hendricks. After walking the leadoff man in the first, he put a pitch over the plate, and Brian Hayes was all over that. Jock Peterson in left made a token chase, but it was gone, so it was 2-0. In the second inning, the Pirates added another run as Adam Frazier took advantage of the drawn-in infield. Hendricks was gone after 3 innings. In the fifth, Jason Adam on in relief, and Jacob Stallings punches one that carries over Peterson. That brought home another run, making it 4-2. Right now, they're in the bottom of the ninth, and the Cubs trail 5-3. David Greenberg spent the day in Wrigleyville. He joins us live with more on what the fans' hopes and expectations are for this Cubs team. David?
Scott, the game just wrapped up moments ago. You could feel a shift from pregame when everyone was out and about to now. The game just wrapped up, and you could feel everyone is just in kind of a sorrow mood. There was much to be made about some of the moves the Cubs made in the offseason. Fans were just excited to be back. Now you can feel those same doubts bubbling back towards the surface. It was a frustrating offseason that not only saw the loss of Theo Epstein, the man that brought them their first World Series in 108 years, but also losing their former ace, Yu Darvish, in a trade, Kyle Schwarber and John Lester in free agency, and now a standstill in contract negotiations with the team's captain, Anthony Rizzo. All that has Cubs fans on edge. They feel like ownership is being cheap.
It's like, oh my God, do I even want to come to a game with all the changes? But hopefully the changes are going to be good, so I'm hoping that's going to be great.
We got to keep him. If they don't keep him, I'm going to send baby kisses with bubbles in them, something that is non-harmless to the owners. They got to keep him.
I think that the aspect of moving forward is moving forward, and so I think you have to balance those two things out. It's a tough thing to run a team, and you hope that it keeps going on. You hope that people keep getting better, but at the end of the day, it's all about winning.
A team that was labeled everything from perennial World Series champions to dynasty is now 5 years out and seemingly back to square one. Scott, back to you.
All right, David, thanks. Great to see all that activity again around the ballpark, unlike what we saw last year, right? Well, the White Sox will play the Angels tonight at 9:05. Rick Hahn likes the fact the Sox are not only a talented team, but they appear to be a very balanced team.
You know, you talk about teams that are built to outslug you, or they're built to, beat you 2-1. We hope to have the ability to do it either way over the course of the season. Some days hopefully put up 7 to 10 runs, and some days beat you 1-0.
And that's sports. We'll be right back.